Jean-François Gariepy is about to get his ass handed to him. And it's going to be fucking amazing because it's going to be done by some of the most well-known and credentialed scientists of this YouTube community.
When can we expect the reckoning?
Within the next 2 weeks.
The little sycophant. I mean, you cannot make this up. These are not actors playing a bad drama. It's an actual guy saying, when can we expect the reckoning? And Kraut is like, in 1 or 2 weeks.
Look, I've
Also,
got so much effort.
No, but it's essential to keep appearances, I guess, to a certain extreme, because we're not just here to tell the truth.
We're not just here to tell the truth. What else are we here for?
We also have to keep appearances. Part of the appearances is we have to eventually give this guy...
I agree with you. We've been talking to Kraut. We've been trying to explain to this guy how wrong he is, and he just... he just cannot understand. So at this point, we're so discouraged in the scientific team that we're just gonna drop all of our recordings. Because it seems that Kraut will not today. Jordan Ethics is a typical book by Vox Day. Vox Day he has a very high opinion of himself, and he has this annoying reaction where he wants to explain, he absolutely wants to explain to you how intelligent he is. So there is a foreword by Milo Yiannopoulos, which is called The Two Types of Chameleon. And the foreword has been published on Milo Yiannopoulos' blog. So the foreword by Milo Yiannopoulos is very good, and it's built around the idea that there are two types of chameleon. There are two types of jokers or kind of liars or frauds on the public space. Milo Yiannopoulos says, I'm one type of chameleon, but Jordan Peterson is the other type of chameleon. He just sent me all of these recordings that they had done because they have hours of them talking to Kraut and trying to explain to him that I'm correct. And we're gonna see JF outjude. So I'm going on vacation from YouTube for a full month, and I come back and there's all sorts of crazy stuff happening. Oh, Internet, you've been a very bad girl. You alone, and you've been doing some crazy stuff. And now JF is back to punish you. Sam Harris, so AIU is done sucking Sam Harris dicks. And we have this pile of intellectual crap that was just dumped on the Internet. The earth is flat like a pizza pan. Okay, let's make this clear. We're not sphere cocks here. The earth is flat like a pizza pan. The argument I'm gonna make tonight is that I have a new model for the flat earth. The flat earth being wrapped around a curvature of space-time according to the laws of curvature that we know from circles. I believe it's the best model for the flat earth to explain the observed data. But let's not lose it here. Let's be clear. The earth is flat. This is April 1st. The earth is flat, and sorry for all the sphere cocks on the Internet. Go cry to your mother if you're not. Oh wait, she's not there. She's busy getting fucked by some alpha flat earthers in the bedroom. Oh no, Kraut. You're not starting with fake VHS video. Kraut, are you aware that people who listen to your videos are kids? They've never had a VHS. They're not gonna understand the reference. What's this pseudo-intellectual editing with fake VHS colors? Is this the ContraPoints virus that has spread while I was gone?
But reason and evidence.
Okay,
Have
this
you?
is a class. Andy,
Jay,
this is important.
That's
I'm
called
not
the
into
determinant.
low IQ
I'm not-
interventions. Andy, so you shut the fuck up for 1 minute.
okay, fine, fuck, man.
So
All right.
this is a classical argument of the form of Stefan Molyneux. Andy, you can go ahead.
Why do you have to be a dick like that? I was gonna ask one question that was part of this.
I was kidding, Andy.
No, that pissed me off, dude.
I'm sorry, Andy. I was kidding.
Just because you're triggered, you can't fucking just go.
Hey,
I was not actually triggered. I love you, Andy.
Can I
was
reply?
kidding.
Okay, I want to ask one.
The VHS editing crowd. Honestly, in 2017, you're a few years late. ContraPoints beat you on that.
Pussies.
And broadly, to proclaim that asking biologists to explain biology is supposedly an appeal to authority.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you're doing right now. You're kind of setting for an appeal to authority.
Fallacy. But far more
I'm not a scientist, I'm not an anthropologist, etc.
Oh, now Kraut and Tea is contrasting this with Tara, who acknowledges her lack of expertise. Hey, Kraut, I prefer this girl saying, hey, I'm not an expert, than you're posing in authority fashion and then, oh, I've talked to the expert and they've spent hours and hours thinking about these things. And so they must know something that Tara doesn't know, right? No crap. The amount of hours you spend on something does not make you more right.
And I would
The big time bankers from back in the day. No, I don't think it is. I think the Jews are a willing scapegoat.
Oh.
They're
I've never heard this angle.
They're
So what
They-
he's
they-
saying, Andy, is that the Jews that we know are not the real Jews. That the Jews we know are Jews.
One of the first things the geneticist told me was that she had spent a considerable time of her career doing research on genes that are resistant to genetically inherited diseases, and that in her words,
Genes that are resistant to genetically inherited diseases? That doesn't even make sense, crowd. The genes are resistant? Or they provide a resistance to the organism? You clearly don't understand what you're talking about if you formulate it like this. What is it? A gene cannot be resistant to a disease.
Wachsinn, which means nonsense, such as race realism, is simply a waste of extremely valuable and
Oh, so a scientist girl tells you that there's a set of things in the world that are complete bullshit and you just buy what she says? And she says it in German?
precious time and
Do you know how many scientists are wrong in what they believe? It's amazing. It's pretty much the same proportion that you would expect if you went to Walmart and you ask two people randomly. It's just that they're expert in their field, but they can be wrong on everything else. Jim, it's a pleasure to have you on. And
Can you hear me? Because I can't
Yeah.
hear myself. Okay. I was told to watch my language because last time I was on
Yes.
here, I guess I said some bad words. Can I do
Yes.
racist sign language? How does that
no
work?
racist sign language, no reference to any sort of thing that could be associated with racism.
I'm here in Georgia. We was this woman. Can you do imitations? Can I do an imitation?
You cannot do, Jim. You cannot do any comment on race. Jesus
Okay.
Christ, Jim.
This was a
Then
woman.
tell me your
okay.
opinion on these freaking counts without telling me what are their race.
This woman looked like Janice Ian, Andrea Dworkin, Carole King. Can you get maybe she had a big nose? She had a big nose? Can I say that? Okay, so she was saying that if they don't win, they're going to go to Washington with not tiki torches, with
torches and pitchforks and just take over Washington. She said
All right, I'm kicking this guy because this guy comes on my channel to make statements to put me in trouble. So fuck Jim Goad. This was the last words I ever hear from Jim Goad. Fuck him. Fuck him. Let's have a look at some of the...
Wait, it's funny. No, I like Jim Goad.
resources in her profession. As much as some of you might be bored by this introduction, I feel obliged to doing it.
It's not that we're bored by your introduction, Kraut and Tea, it's that we see where you're going with this. There's a reason why you spend so much time thanking them. Your name dropping, your diploma dropping, and you are appealing to their authority. You're just not doing it in an explicit fashion. You want us to believe that you've done enormous work. But whatever work you've done was all crap. I feel like this professor who sees a young person coming to me with something he worked 100 hours on, but the thing is just crap. And this is not going to change because you present these experts you've talked to, or you talk to us about the number of hours you've spent on this or that they've spent on their own research project. What you're about to say will be retained in the internet as one of the most blatant pile of crap ever created by an intelligent being on YouTube.
This video and other projects in the works would have been impossible without these two people. I'm a mere high school dropout who may have gotten himself through night school into university, but I would not have the learning patience that it would require to study and succeed academically in the hard.
No, you don't have anything to succeed academically. You're not even able to create this video with accurate information. You're about to tell us that trouts are pregnant, for Christ's sake.
Streams human beings and the thistle. Human beings are K-types, the thistle is an R-type. Human beings have few...
So this categorical definition that you give, saying this species is R-type, this species is K-type, that's not even true. That's not even the correct way to approach this. You're always K-type with respect to someone else, or you can have a species that looked along some dimensions of its behavior and its properties, looks more K-type than another species which looks more R-type. But this is always very relative. You're not, it's not like, oh, I'm a human, therefore I'm K-type. It's compared to some fish, we do invest more parental care, so we would tend to think of ourselves as more K-type. But it's not a categorical box in which you fall. It's just a way of looking at stuff.
We'll get back to later. The K-type sexual reproduction strategy is distinctively mammalian.
No, the K-type reproduction strategy is not distinctively mammalian. There are plants, Kraut, that are K-type. What the fuck are you talking about?
Reproduction happens through the trout swimming upriver to mate. The male does not remain with the female. The pregnancy is very short, with the female...
Brown trouts do not get pregnant. Did you just say the pregnancy is very short?
The male does not remain with the female. The pregnancy is very short.
The pregnancy is very short. Kraut. Brown trouts don't get pregnant. I'm sorry, Kraut.
The capacity to give birth to living young is a specifically mammalian trait.
The capacity to give birth to living young is a specifically mammalian trait? Are you kidding me? Come on, Kraut. Kraut, you could have gotten this. Brown trout reproduction. Here's how easy it is. Kraut and Tea, someone on the chat says. Brown trout spawning and breeding habits. Have you ever seen a brown trout reproduce? Kraut, I did. They lay eggs and the sperm of the male comes after the eggs are laid. Therefore, there is no pregnancy. Than the average woman in our society. What the fuck are you talking about with your eggs there?
The R-type human female would most likely lay eggs because giving birth to living young is a rare exception amongst R-type species. The R-type human female would also abandon those eggs after giving birth, and the R-type human offspring would hatch capable of walking and fending for themselves entirely by themselves.
I think I found the perfect question to ask SB. Totally outside the flat earth debate. SB, what do you think about horseshoe theory? That's like saying the
things-
political spectrum is a circle. What do you think about it?
Well, to a degree, I believe that if you go too far in one direction, that you end up the same as your opponent. Do you disagree with that, JF?
No, it's just that I got a flat earther to agree that if you go too far on one side, you end up on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the second installment of our series looking at the Kraut series on the alt-right. Our first video has been a terrible wrecking of Kraut. Kraut has not been seen on the internet since then. We have reports indicating that Kraut was seen somewhere on the side of the road in Germany, just devastated from learning that trouts do not get pregnant. In fact, it seems that he was hitting with his fist on the dead body of a trout, saying, "This trout must have a baby. This trout was pregnant." No, Kraut, I'm sorry. Trouts don't get pregnant. There's no baby. The trout is dead.